Hey, you guys, you ready for day 2 of Fun February? Today we are going to decorate this cute little bunny cookie together, and then I'm gonna take down my Christmas. Can you all see it behind me? I haven't done that yet. Just a little recap. Yesterday, we talked about butter and the different types of butter that you can use in your recipes. And I shared with you my favorite butter. So if you missed that yesterday, go back on my page and you can see it. You can also visit my, whoops, sorry about that. That was very shaky. You can also visit cheerfulbaker.com. You can go to the blog section and you can read a blog post all about butter. So tell me hi when you come on. And also, hey, Melissa. Also, tell me, are you thinking yet about Easter? Because I mean, it's almost Valentine's Day, y'all. So Easter is going to be right around the corner. So let's decorate. Today, we're going to decorate this cute little bunny. This is from my cheerful box, and this is my favorite cookie. And then this is his little best friend. Aren't they cute? They need to be looking at each other. I just love them. And then I think it's Thursday. I'm going to decorate this, show you all how to do this. So thank you, Vanessa. So y'all ready to get started? Now I'm going to show the video and talk over it because it's easier for me since it's just me to be able to do it that way. So let me pull up the video so that you all can see that. And okay, let me stop it real quick. Okay, this is the bunny, like I said, from the cheerful box. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use white piping icing, white flooding icing, pink flooding icing, and that's all. Plus an edible, you could either use an edible marker for the eyes, but we'll talk about that in a minute. So this is a really easy bunny. Now, one thing I'm going to do, you'll notice in the beginning is you can see a definition in the bunny's face between the face and the body. So that's what I'm going to do first. The way that you achieve that is you allow the face to dry a little bit. That's how you create those little areas. That happens through dry time. So we're going to do the face and then we'll do the rest of the bunny. So let me say hi. Mimi, your Christmas decor is still boxed up in your formal living room. I'm glad to hear that because mine is still over there, but that's my goal today. Yesterday, I sent all the cheerful boxes. So if you are a subscriber, maybe you'll get it today, which will be kind of fun. But now that I'm done with that, I can work on getting my house back together after Christmas. So let's start. Now I'm going around the edge of my bunny with my piping icing. And I just wanted, do you see the little line right here? The reason I did that, it doesn't make a bit of difference when I flood it, but it was just easier for me to continue this little circle. Sometimes I'll do that with my icing because it enables me to get a rounder curve right here. That's going to be covered up so you don't even know that it's there. So there's my piping icing. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pipe the body as well. And you'll notice when I'm piping, I'm holding my bag slightly above the cookie. And I'm just allowing that icing line to fall down. So I'm sort of creating almost like a comic book, which means I'm going to create the outline just like you would see in a comic book. And then we're going to fill it in. But instead of using crayons, we're going to fill it in with icing. Now I can go ahead and I can take my white flood icing, and you'll notice I flood this very full. You don't want to have to do a lot of work with your icing. You want to flood it full and it will even out like that. Now, if your icing is not flat, there's 2 reasons. 1, your consistency is too thick. 2, you have not put enough icing. I find newer cookie decorators, it's usually that you don't put enough icing on your cookie. It is not gonna fall over the line that you've created, the outline, unless your icing is too thin and watery. If it has a lot of air bubbles in it, it's probably too thin. So you wanna make sure if that's the case and it falls over the edge, just mix up your icing, add a little bit more either thick icing or some powdered sugar that is sifted because you don't wanna make clumps, then start again. Just wipe that off and start over. Sometimes it's the first cookie that tells you if the consistency is right. Hey, Facebook users, I can't tell who you all are, but I appreciate you watching. So now I'm going to allow this to dry. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to outline where the little middle of the ears are going to go with my piping icing. Then I'm going to go around it. Now you'll notice that I created the center for my pink icing. For me, really, it's usually easier to do it that way, to create the outline and then to fill it in with the color on the inside. Next, I'm gonna do the body, and just to let you know, I have allowed my icing on my bunny head to dry till it's crusted over. It usually takes 10 to 15 minutes. You can put it in front of a fan, you can put it in your dehydrator if you have a dehydrator, but it's really important to allow that icing to crust over before doing the body. Otherwise, it'll just blend together. But again, if it blends together, it's not the end of the world with this cookie. It'll still be super, super cute. So I'm gonna fill in, and then you'll notice that I only use my scribe to move the icing around. Now this is sped up because we all got things to do today. I'm really not that fast, but you'll notice the little bunny. I wanted to call attention to the little bunny feet down here. I forgot to record that part for you all today, but all I did was use my piping consistency icing to create the little feet. I did that I did that at the same time as I did the face. And then I allowed them to crust over at the same time as I was allowing the face to crust over. So if you all can go to the original post about this and you can click that StreamYard can show me your name and I'll know who you are. If you don't want to do that, just say hi and tell me who you are so I can say hi to you. So let's continue. Now I just did that with pink flood icing. My flood was a little thicker for this cookie. Actually, I might have used piping icing. I really don't remember, but it was a little thicker. It was either a little bit thicker of a flood or a little bit thinner of a piping icing. If you use really thin icing in a small area like this, sometimes it can crater. So you want to just use around a 20-second icing for this. Yes, I do have the cutters for sale. This is part of my Cheerful box. If you go to cheerfulbaker.com, and I'll put the link in here. I'll show you all in just a minute where you can get these. Next, this is really important. We're going to put a tail on this bunny. And thank you, Dawn. We're going to put a tail on this bunny. And so you really want to make sure that this icing is good and dry before you put the tail on. What will happen is if you put this heavier icing, because we are going to use, thank you, Mimi. You're the best. You're my assistant. The icing that we're going to use for the tail, I want it to have a little bit of, I want it to be kind of thick and fluffy, right? So I'm going to use my piping consistency, which is a little heavier. If I put that down immediately onto my flooded cookie before it's dry, you're going to break that crust and it's not going to look great. So when you're putting something that's a little bit heavier on top, you want to make sure that your icing below is really good and dry. And what I mean by that is at least an hour or two. If you do it before, you have a good chance of messing up your cookie. Now, another way that you could do that is you could create a little tail with royal icing. You could put a blob of royal icing down on one of your, I like to use my little packages, let it dry, do a bunch of tails, and then you can drop them right onto your wet cookie. And then that saves you from having to wait. So I'm just going around with my thick icing because you want your bunny to have a really fluffy little tail. I love bunnies. Y'all love bunnies? Now, there's 2 different ways you can do the face, and I'm gonna show you one way here, which is my favorite way. Another way that you could do it is you could just take black icing and you could do a little dot. I don't think those are as sweet. I like the little closed eyes, which you'll see in just a second, like this. Now, there are 2 ways that you can do this. One way is to use Tweets markers, which I absolutely love. Tweets cookie connections are really thin they're thin markers, and I will link those underneath this post. You can also use a very, very thin brush. And my favorite one, I will also link. It's from Chewa Cookies, and I use that with black gel color. But you could also use icing. Now here, I'm just using some Elite Dust from the Sugar Art. Hey, Lindy. Lindy is my Pilates instructor. If you all live near me, you should go. But I'm just taking this with a really soft brush. And again, my cookie is completely dry. Otherwise, it will look like the bunny has been socked in the face, and we don't want that. We want it to look cute. Now, let me just show you what I did. No one's eaten this cookie. This is just for me. I just did it for the class. So I blew the excess icing off of there. I mean, the excess powder. You don't want to do that if you are making cookies for someone. So I have this great big fluffy brush right here. And what I would do is I would actually just brush off the excess, but I just blew it off because no one's eating this cookie. It's this cookie right here, and it is hard as a rock. So, oh, Mimi, thank you so much for putting that post. Tweets Cookie Connection. Let's see, I have some of them right here. Here's a green one. These are they're incredible. Incredible. Mimi, you're the best. Mimi's putting all of the links for me. So these are ultra fine tip pins, or what I use if I'm not using a paintbrush, and it has a teeny tiny little tip, and you can get them in every color. They're just absolutely fantastic. And you can get them in skinny tip or a brush tip, which I use a lot too. So now I'm going to take this Chewa Connection brush, and you can see how teeny tiny the end is. And I actually always use, can you tell how old this bottle is? I mean, it's probably a year old, but I've used it to death. It's such a mess. But what I do is I put a little bit of the gel color on one of these. I use these plastic Nata cookies a lot. I'll put it on the top of there. And then I will take my brush and I'll drag it through, and then I will wipe off a little bit of the excess on the side of the cookie, because you don't want a big glob. So you can kind of see how there's not a big glob of icing. That's really important. or else you could give your bunny a black eye. So we again, we don't want our bunny to look like he's been attacked. So I am going to just take that skinny brush with just a little bit of gel color, and I'm going to create the eye. That's my favorite eye. I just think it's so sweet. What do y'all think? And then I made a little nose, and this is the Cheerful Box set that bunny came in. And let me share with you a couple things. If you're interested, just to let you know, the Cheerful Box Cookie Cutter Kit. You can purchase it on by itself without a subscription for $53.97, or if you get our monthly subscription, you save $10. And you also get some extra things with the monthly subscription, like my Royal Icing 101 class. You get into a Facebook group with wonderful, wonderful cookie decorators. So it's a lot of fun. This month you can either choose your Easter set, or I'm not going to show the other one, but you can go to my website and see it, because we always make it a surprise, and I don't want to ruin the surprise for anyone that hasn't received it yet. So you just go to Cheerful Cutters or cheerfulbaker.com. I'll put the link in right here. Whoops. I'll put the link in right here if you all are interested in knowing more about that. So thank you for watching today. Again, let me, okay. Again, yesterday we talked all about butter, which was a lot of fun. Tomorrow we're going to talk about flour. Flour, the type of flour that you use in cookie decorating makes such a big difference. I think actually that link that I just put, let's see, let me do it this way instead. So we're going to talk about the different types of flour. Here we go. This is the right one. And how the flour you use can really affect your cookies. The next day is going to be Flour Day. And you all, I think that's Flour Day. I don't even remember. And then I think the next day, anyway, we're going to talk this week all about cookies, cookie decorating, flour. We're going to talk at the end of the week about how to store your cookies. We're going to talk about cookie dough, all things baking this week. Next week, we are going to start talking about icing. So we're going to talk about icing. We're going to talk about different ways to make icing. We're going to talk about the colors, my favorite colors for icing. The week after that, I think we're going to talk about tools of the trade. I think that's what I have planned. My favorite cookie decorating tools. And then I don't even remember, but it's going to be fun. So come back every day. So does anybody have any questions about this cookie or about anything else that we've talked about? My goal is for these to be pretty short. That way, if you're watching on your lunch hour, you know, you can still eat. So let me answer some questions. I'm not sure where I am. I'm watching from Costco. That is hilarious. Let's see. This is such a sweet set. I have mine. Can't wait to try it. I'm doing a set for Dr. Seuss's birthday, green eggs and ham. Thinking of using the Valentine box. That's a great idea. The avocado for the ham. Oh my gosh, what a fantastic. That's the perfect ham shape. That's exactly what I would do. Make sure that you show me those because they're going to be super cute. I guess that's it. Love these quick lives. What time will I be going live each day? 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every day this week. Hopefully it'll be that time every for the entire month. Unless something crazy comes up. So y'all have a great day. I appreciate every one of you. And I guess that's it for today. Bye.